Imagine you have a friend, and anytime you think about doing something slightly out of the ordinary or out of your comfort zone, maybe a little bit new, she is right there by your side to pull you back down. Stripy trousers with your hips? I don't think so. Art class at your age? No, 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 no. Oh, you like that guy, the hot guy from the gym? No, honey, just no. Ugh, I hope that you would stop taking her calls and kick her out of Book and Wine Club. But here's the thing. We all have a friend like that, and we can't get rid of her because she lives inside our own minds. She is the frenemy within, and she has made it her job to stand right in between you and the unlimited life that you came here to lead. Come with me on a little journey to 1998 in Springfield, Missouri, at a graduate theatre studies school. I am standing in the corridor, about to buy a Mountain Dew from the vending machine, and eating, as I have been for several months now, an entire box of Captain Crunch peanut butter flavour cereal out of the box into my mouth as I try to numb myself with sugar and carbs from the thing that I deeply know. I have made a mistake. I am not meant to be at a graduate theatre studies program. I should have gone to drama school. But here's the thing. I tried to go to drama school. Picture a 19-year-old me, all fresh-faced and giddy, getting on a plane from Belfast to London, where I had lined up auditions at 3 of the top drama schools in the city. I was excited. I was going to be an actress and go to drama school, and I didn't know how to pay for it, not the tuition or my rent, but I was going to worry about that another day and just get myself into those schools. And I showed up for my first audition at the London Guildhall School of Dramatic Arts. Yes, it's posh, and I tanked. And I don't mean I was a little bit bad. I was a lot bad. I tanked. I was so nervous that I talked the entire time when I was supposed to be listening, and anytime somebody asked me a sensible question, I simply clammed up, and my audition pieces were just wrong. I was doing a piece from Shirley Valentine, which is a play about a 40-year-old woman and a wall. I would nail that audition today, but at 19, I didn't know what I was doing with it. It was a mess. They said thank you, but no thank you. I left, went back to my auntie's house where I was staying, and panicked. This was my opportunity to perhaps brush up some different audition pieces and try again at the other schools, but I didn't. I cancelled those auditions, spent the week playing with my nephews, and at the end of it made the announcement to my family that I had made the very sensible decision to go home to my local university where I already had a place and didn't need an audition to get into, and study theatre as an academic art. I wasn't good enough to be an actress, so I was going to read about other actresses. I was definitely under the grip of my frenemy within. Hey, I am Maharati. I'm an international mindset and meditation coach. I help women who are made for more, that is you gorgeous, to quit holding ourselves back so we can be our own best friend and live an unlimited life. And in this talk today, I'll be talking about the frenemy within and 3 different ways that we can overcome and get her to calm down and take a step back so we can go on and be the fabulous people that we secretly know we are when nobody's looking. Now, first of all, why do we stand in our own way in the first place? Well, the simple answer is we are designed to. We have been designed to get in our own way. We've been designed to have a break on. Ever since humankind stood up, or even before then, we have had this mechanism to keep us small, keep us safe, and keep us from getting into trouble with tigers. See, we might think that we're all sophisticated with our smartphones and our cars that park themselves, but look under the hood of the average human being and you will find some seriously outdated hardware. Meet the amygdala. I like to call her Amy, and Amy is in charge of your response to emotions and memories, and she's also the head of fear. You know the fight or flight response? That is Amy's department. She is the boss of that, which was great back in primitive times when our ancestors were wandering through the forest and they heard the snap of a twig and maybe the husky breath of a saber-toothed tiger. They would instantly go into fight or flight. So they would either start throwing rocks at the tiger and hope for the best and probably get eaten, or run like the bejesus and just hope that they were really, really fast and the tigers can't climb trees, which they can. I think a lot of us died. But Amy was doing her job. Amy sends us into a response without us having to think about it first. In other words, you don't need to use the thinky bit of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, and tell Amy what to do. She's ahead of the game, and faster than you can blink an eye, she will have you making a response, which is incredible news when there is a tiger on the prowl, but really not so great in our modern day lives. Now, why is that? Because our brains in part have evolved, and now we are able to imagine and fantasize realities that seem so real, they're literally believable to our bodies. Our bodies, and that includes the primitive core of the brain, can't tell the difference between what's actually happening to you in life and what you are imagining happening in life. Don't believe me? Let's try something. Close your eyes for a moment, and I want you to imagine that you go to your fridge. Maybe you've got a thirst for making a lemonade or having a gin and tonic, and you take out a lemon, and I want you to cut that lemon in half and hold it up to your nose and take a deep breath. As you breathe in that delicious zingy scent of the lemon, if you're feeling game, you can stick out your tongue and squeeze some of the lemon juice onto your tongue. Now, depending how you feel about lemons, you'll either do the lemon face or be quite happy that you're having some lemon. But the question is, are you salivating? I know I am, and I knew that I was going to do this today, and I still tricked myself into believing that there's a lemon in the room, and that is the point. Our digestive systems are getting ready to receive a lemon. We're salivating, and the hydrochloric acid in our stomach has risen, getting all ready to receive the lemon. But where's the lemon? There is no lemon, and that is part of the problem. Our imaginations are so good that we trick our limbic systems, the amygdala. So Amy is sitting there thinking that every time you imagine something terrible is going to happen to you in your life, it's actually happening, and she puts you into a state of fight or flight. This part of the brain has been so well developed to keep us safe that it actually scans our environment every 5 seconds, asking this question: am I safe? Am I safe? And it's looking for information to keep you safe. So it's trained to look out for danger. So when we start worrying about things or using our past experiences to project into a future where maybe we should be worried, we kick off the amygdala. She puts us into fight or flight, even if there's nothing actually to worry about, and we were just having a little pre-worry about what would happen if we missed our flight, for example. Amy thinks we've missed the flight, and she puts us into threat mode. Now, one of the first things that she does when that happens is she floods our systems with cortisol and adrenaline. These are awesome hormones that get you really jacked up and ready to fight tigers. Except there is no tiger. You didn't miss the flight. There is no lemon. But when you're pumped up with these hormones, what happens is you can't engage the thinky rational part of your thinking brain. That gets shut down, and everything around you makes you stay small, safe, and go with whatever is certain. So maybe you went after a dream and failed your first audition. You have created the idea that auditions are a threat because you had a bad experience. So the thing is, when you think about going to an audition next time, Amy kicks off and says, no, don't go to that audition. That is a threat to us. Let's instead play it small, stay safe, and go to the local university. Can you relate? Maybe you've had a similar experience in your life. Maybe when you think about, for example, going to quit your job and start your dream business. I mean, first of all, yay you, and I would love to be with you on that ride. Contact me, and I'm here to be your best friend until you learn to be your own. But what happens when we think about that? Yeah, I'm going to quit my job. Yeah, I'm a brilliant artist. I'm going to make greetings cards and sell those. What happens is Amy goes into the file of subconscious memories to check to see if you've ever had a negative experience with trying something new. And if you have, she's not impressed that now you're trying to put yourself in danger, in threat, in even if it's just the threat of humiliation or losing a little bit of money. She's not impressed because her job is to keep you safe. So she floods you with cortisol and adrenaline so that she can shut you down and keep you small and safe. And then when you think about starting this new business, which should be a joy to you, you get the sweats, you can't sleep, and you feel all panicky for some reason. So instead you don't, because Amy is inside you screaming, you need to go for what's certain. And what is certain right now is our job. Except you don't like that job. And the voice inside your heart says, I think we came here to do something different this life. And I think this job is chipping away at my soul. And I think this isn't who I came here to be. And Amy says, tough titties, lady. We need you to stay safe. So stay in your job. Well, luckily for me, when I was staying small and safe and studying all the way to graduate school theatre studies instead of doing what I really wanted to do and go to drama school, there came an angel in my life called Jack Parkhurst. I will never forget his name. And he found me in the corridor, stuffing Captain Crunch cereal and drinking ridiculous amounts of Mountain Dew, and said to me, I don't think you're where you're supposed to be. And he held my hand while I plucked up the courage to apply for drama school, and I got in. That's a whole other story and a whole other video. But Jack has retired. So right now we need to find a way so we can step out of our own way without intervention. And in order to do that, we're going to need to meet our inner superhero, your awareness. Human beings are incredible, all of it. But my favorite ability that we have is our ability to be consciously aware of ourselves. In other words, we can be super meta, we're so on trend, and be able to know what systems are happening inside our brains, especially once we have the knowledge of how the system works. So now we know how the system works, we can actually override it and use it against itself in a gentle way. As you walk through life, you are storing information about your experiences that go into your subconscious. This is the file that Amy has access to when she's deciding whether she should let you go forward or keep you small and safe. However, most of the information that's stored in the subconscious is negative. We tend to store negative events as more useful than positive events, but we can beat the system. We can change the filter. Let me show you how filters work. In a minute or less, I'm going to ask you to do something that's going to require your full attention. I'm going to ask you to look around your room and count, just give a numerical, to give a number, to everything that is blue in your room. Blue. Are you ready? Go. Look around looking for blue. Everything that's blue. If it's blue, just give it a number. If it's a spoon or a jacket, it doesn't matter. It's blue, it's blue. Blue gets a number. Keep looking for blue. Fantastic. Now, close your eyes. Keep them tight. Don't peek. When I say now, I want you to imagine I can hear you and call out everything in your room that is yellow. Go. Yellow. What is yellow in your room? Don't peek. It's tricky, right? You can open your eyes now. And you're probably going to have a quick peek and see what's yellow. It's tricky because when I asked you what was yellow, you probably had to go into your memory banks to go like, wait, what is yellow? Even though you had just looked around your room. But you looked around your room with your blue filter in place, so you were only registering, really taking in the information of what is blue, and all the yellow stuff got ignored. In this same way, we have what I call story filters. We all have a story. Maybe one of these will ring a bit true to you sometimes. I'm not enough. I'm not clever enough. I'm not young enough. I'm not attractive enough. I'm not wealthy enough. When you have that story filter in place, you have trained the mind, not your fault, to look for evidence to support that filter. Just as the yellow couldn't come through, anything that contradicts your story filter doesn't reach you consciously, and instead all the stuff that supports that story does. I walked around for decades with the story filter firmly in place that I'm not likable. Anytime I thought about going to an audition or making friends with that group of people or chatting to that guy or going on holiday by myself or making videos, something would come up and tell me, no, remember, you're not likable. And because I'd had that filter in place, I had a wealth of information to prove back to myself that I'm not likable. So we have to change the filter, and we can do that with a simple task. This is the first of our ways that we are going to quit holding ourselves back. Are you ready? This is so simple that you might reject it. If there's anything that teaching meditation for over 10 years has taught me, is we humans love something complicated, and most of us have the story filter that change needs to be slow and be difficult. Change can happen in an instant, and the simpler the better. So to change our story filters, we simply need to give our mind something different to look for. And what I suggest is that you give your mind the job of looking every day for things that have happened to you that are fantastic. And taking just 5 minutes every day, in the morning or the evening, to write down fantastic things that have happened to you in the last 24 hours. Now, for a lot of people, this looks like keeping a gratitude journal, which is gorgeous, but I invite my clients to go just a little step further. And what we do instead is keep a journal of self-pride. So everything that you think you could possibly be proud of yourself for, even if you're not feeling the feels, you don't have to be emotionally connected to it, but you could possibly say, yeah, I could be proud of that if I let myself be proud of that. This could be eating your greens, taking that walk that you promised yourself, making a difficult phone call, taking one step towards your dreams. Or some days, it's simply you got out of bed and you took a shower, and that is perfect. So every day get into the habit of simply writing down a list of things. Could be 1, could be 3, could be 5, could be 20, it doesn't matter. But start writing down things that you could be proud of yourself for. And what you're doing is you're giving your mind something different to look for. You've now created a positive filter. And over time, you'll notice that you notice more and more and more things that you could be proud of yourself for. And your confidence gets built up from the inside because you've changed your story filter. Now that's a beautiful, easy exercise for when you're feeling pretty chill and you've got a cuppa in the evening. But what about when Amy is in charge of the plane and she is driving us towards fight or flight, and we can't think, and we're flooded with cortisol and adrenaline, and there's no way I'm going to sit down and make a list about anything. I can't breathe. Take 6 deep breaths. Studies have shown that in just 6 deep, slow and steady as you can make them breaths, we can turn around our state of mind and bring ourselves back into a state of calm and harmony. Now, how does that work? Well, remember the lemon? That imaginary lemon kicked off a response in your nervous system, in your digestive system. It responded to an imaginary event. Well, in just the same way, if the amygdala is all jacked up and filling you full of panic things, you can send a message to her using your body to talk to her that everything is okay. I know you may have tried using your language to talk to her, saying, I'm okay, everything's great. But here's the thing, the amygdala doesn't really listen to the prefrontal cortex. She doesn't really work with language that well. She sends out way more information way quickly to the rest of the body than she receives it. But she does listen to the primitive systems. She kind of likes her own kind. And one of course, our first primitive primary system is our breath. So when we breathe calmly, the amygdala listens and she gets the message that there is no threat here, everything is fine. I use this trick in my own life anytime that I feel that the panic is coming in. My clients use this trick too, and the stories of the transformations are beautiful. In fact, I would love for you to try this trick in your own life. And if you notice a difference, if you're able to get your body to calm Amy down so that you can get on with being fabulous, please drop me an email and let me know, because, well, first of all, I would just love to hear from you, and what a great excuse to get in touch. But try it and let me know. Now, finally, our third way of stepping out of our way is that we're going to take a look at the subconscious. Now, remember, the subconscious has been given all of this information about what we should be afraid of, and it stores all of the events that are negative. And the subconscious mind does actually have pretty much direct access to the amygdala. That's where she looks. She's in charge of the emotions and the memories, remember? So everything that's been stored in your data bank is what she plays with when she decides whether or not to kick off. So we need to get into the subconscious. We're going to use a visualization. If you've ever played with a visualization before and just found yourself a bit frustrated, it could be that you were visualizing from the surface level of your mind. Now remember, the amygdala and the surface level of the mind don't really talk to each other. They're a bit removed. But what she does see are big pictures. So if you're picturing, say, a house and a Tesla, and maybe you have 3 already, and a pool, and the man of your dreams, all she gets as a message is change. Things are going to change. And do you think she likes change? No, she does not like change. So she will kick off. Even though you're dropping in positive things, all she hears is things are going to change, and that could be a risk, and I am going to close that down. So we need to go deeper into the subconscious. How do we do that? Well, this is actually the secret sauce of my meditation practice. I combine powerful meditations along with mindset work so that we can go deeper than the surface level of the mind and actually get into the subconscious and reprogram it. When the amygdala is all kicking off and fussy, meditation is scientifically proven to calm her down. In fact, meditators have less responsive amygdalas than other people, and that is a good thing. That means that she is mostly just chilling in the back there, waiting for a real tiger to come along, and that's exactly where we want her. We don't want her to go away. She's not an enemy, she's a frenemy. She's just a bit keen to please by sabotaging us. So the training that I teach people to get into that deep subconscious layer takes about 20 minutes to do. It's called How to Get What You Really Want. So I'm not going to go into it today because it's 20 minutes. So I want you to carve out time for yourself when you have 20 minutes and find a nice quiet space and sit down. Download this video that I'll give to you in the link, and you can go through the training. The first thing we address in that training is how to get what you really want. What do you want? We focus on that, and then we do some real amygdala calming, deep level subconscious reprogramming. I made it just for you because I want to help you step out of your own way. So please, after this video, go and grab that free training. There is a link around here for that. Wow. So that is how we soothe and calm the frenemy within and get her to take the back seat. We use our awareness. We change our filters. We soothe her using our body. We are so hacking the system here. And finally, we use meditation to take us into a deeper place where we can more easily program ourselves for our own good. I hope you have enjoyed this talk and gotten so much out of it. I've gotten so much out of giving it to you. I am Maharati, and you are my inspiration. If you're watching this video, I really do believe that you are meant to live an unlimited life, and I'd love to show you how. I'll see you soon.